time pass. So I actually started teaching English as a time pass.
From their school days,
Yeah.
they are reading English, they are writing English, they are giving exams in English. But when it comes to speaking, they are not able to speak confidently, especially. So what is the reason behind that?
People get nervous speaking to native speakers. I think they feel that they're going to be judged speaking to a native speaker. So there's that kind of lack of confidence there.
If I have an accent, so what is the accent's role?
What people should focus on more is intelligibility, being understood.
Biggest speaking mistake which people make while speaking English?
Speaking too fast, actually.
I asked them that what are the problems you are facing while communicating.
Yeah.
So they say that I don't know English.
I think it's because the words English communication are used so frequently together
Exactly.
that I think it's just a common confusion. So what I tell my students who want to become better listeners of the Australian accent, it's exposure to that language or that accent.
So what are the key features of the Australian accent that make it one of the most hardest language in the world?
We don't pronounce R. R is how we say it, R. With Hollywood, like we said, even like if people love watching K-drama, it's American dubbed. You know, everything's like there's such an American
exactly.
influence.
If someone wants to improve their pronunciation, how they can improve their pronunciation part? For the corporates especially, is it important in corporate?
Everything has to switch to English.
One golden rule to improve communication skills.
Yeah. And this is an activity I do with my students. When we learn about tonalities, I have like the one sentence and you can say it 4 or 5 different ways. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Like, मेरी हिंदी अच्छी नहीं, like, मुझे समझ नहीं सकता. And then they're just like hung up on me.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Vineet Mishra. I welcome you all to the Growth Hub podcast, a place where people grow personally and professionally. Today we have someone who is teaching English to the people from all over the world. She is specialized in teaching people the Australian English, the Australian accent. Her name is Amanda, and through her platform Aussie English with Amanda, she is teaching people from all over the world how to speak English, especially in Australian accent. So we welcome Amanda to the Growth Hub podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's so exciting.
So we are going to talk about a lot of things related to communication, confidence, English. So the very first question will be from the journey. How did you start this thing that I should teach people how to speak English and especially in Australian accent?
So there's actually a word that's very common in Indian English that doesn't really exist outside of India, time pass. So I actually started teaching English as a time pass. So I moved to India in 2019.
Okay.
So I moved in June. It's been almost 7 years. And a few months later, I got married and then the pandemic started. So as we know, the pandemic was really hard here. The lockdowns were very strict. I moved here, hadn't really made any friends, and I was really lonely. So I decided to look for a part-time job online. I wanted something that was very flexible. I chose my own hours, and I came across an English platform called Cambly. And I thought, you know what, I'll just work on there as a time pass. And yes, I was with Cambly for some time, and then I decided to work on a different platform where I had a bit more flexibility with how much I could charge per class.
Yes.
And from there, I had people starting to book me because it has your little flag where you're from.
Exactly.
People started to book me because I'm Australian, and they were saying things like, I can't understand the accent, I don't understand the slang, I don't understand the culture, it's very different to my home culture. And then I was getting enough of those questions that I thought, I think there's something here that I can kind of tap into. And that's sort of how me teaching Aussie English started. About maybe 9 months after, no, it wasn't even 9 months, maybe 4 or 5 months after I started on that platform, I wanted to try out social media. So I came up with the name Aussie English with Amanda and created my Instagram, and that will be 3 years in April. that I started my social media, and here we are.
Congratulations for
you.
completing 3 years.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it takes a lot of efforts. I
It
know.
does.
Very good.
Yeah.
So next question is that many Indians and even in foreign countries, people learn English from their school days.
Yeah.
They are reading English, they are writing English, they are giving exams in English. But when it comes to speaking, they are not able to speak confidently, especially. So what is the reason behind that?
I think there's a few things. I think that when people go to a Western country or an English-speaking country like Australia, people get nervous speaking to native speakers. I think they feel that they're going to be judged speaking to a native speaker. So there's that kind of lack of confidence there. Also, depending on the country, I think some countries put a big emphasis on English. And if someone doesn't speak perfect English, then they're mocked or ridiculed for not having that perfect, grammar, pronunciation, English as in general. So that also affects people's confidence with speaking the language. But yeah, I think those are sort of the two main reasons why that I can think of right now.
So don't you feel that in India especially, people know that we have neutral accent, right? We are not British or we are not American.
Yeah.
So when it comes to speaking, they are hesitant because they know how to write mails, they know how to read it. But when it comes to speaking, what are the basic problems you have faced in Indian people that they are not able to speak properly?
For me, being a English-speaking woman here in India, I think a lot of it comes down to what I was saying before. People get really nervous to speak to me because they think I'm going to judge them because English is my mother tongue, English is my main language. Whereas I'm learning Hindi, and I teach English. I don't judge people for, for their speaking or way of speaking. I feel that, if they're trying to make an effort to speak to me in English, I think it's great. I don't expect them to. I will always try and speak in Hindi first, even if I struggle.
Yes.
But yeah, I think as well, there's a difference between accent and pronunciation. So accent is more about how you sound and those kind of those behaviors, whereas pronunciation is how you say the words. So everyone has an accent. I have an accent. It's my Australian accent.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, there is, for lack of a better term, there's the Indian English accent. Even though no matter where you go around India, there's going to be different variations of this Indian English accent.
Exactly.
But they've kind of just given it this kind of blanket term for it. Yeah.
Okay, that is the main thing. So there is one question arises that when we talk about accent, so when I'm speaking something, if I have an accent, so what is the accent's role that it improves my confidence while speaking it?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I don't know percentage-wise, but I think what people should focus on more is intelligibility, being understood, rather than having like a native accent of some kind. Because if people can't understand what you're saying in any accent, it's going to impact how you communicate and that communication with the other person.
Yes.
So I think intelligibility is more important than accent, because as an example, if you are speaking to someone and they can't understand you for whatever reason and they keep asking you to repeat yourself, that's going to wear your confidence down, right? So then as you start to improve the different areas of your speech, whether that is pronunciation or grammar or whatever it is, if you find that people are asking you to repeat yourself less, that's going to build your confidence.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. Yes. So next question is biggest speaking mistake which people make while speaking English?
I think one of the biggest is probably speaking too fast, actually. And I'm definitely guilty of this. I had a nickname when I was a child, Motor Mouth, because I was talking really fast nonstop.
Really fast.
Yes. Even now I'm like, my husband's like, oh my God, you're yapping so much today. So, I talk a lot and I used to talk very fast. And it wasn't until I started working in hotels, so that's actually my educational background, hotel management.
Hotel management.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was working with international guests in this remote part of Australia, middle of the country. And it was my first exposure really to international travelers. And they couldn't understand me. So I had to learn to slow down and really enunciate clearly and pronounce my words well for them to understand me. So I think there is this misconception that speaking fast means that you are a fluent speaker. So I think the biggest mistake I see people make is speaking really, really fast because they think it's going to make them be more confident or sound more fluent, but really it's going to impact how your message is received, delivered and understood.
Exactly. So there one question also arises, that what is difference between communication and English? Because when we are talking about communication, so we are talking about the message we have sent and the feedback we got, right?
Yeah.
Then the communication happens.
Yeah.
But when we are speaking English, so people come to me and they say that please improve my communication skills. So I ask them that what are the problems you are facing while communicating?
Yeah.
So they say that I don't know English. So I say that, so what do you think about it?
Yeah, that's actually a very, very good point. And I think it's because the words English communication are used so frequently together.
Exactly.
That I think it's just a common confusion, if anything, because you're right, communication is the messages you send and receive.
Exactly.
And then when you dig deeper, communication can be verbal communication. It can be non-verbal, like your body language. There's also something called paralinguistic. Paraverbal.
Yes.
Paraverbal or paralinguistic communication, which is all about your vocal quality.
Vocal quality.
Yeah, so all of those things are communication, and I think English is just a part of that. But people, I think, associate knowing English with
as spoken communication, right?
Yes.
It is not about spoken communication only. It is also about the visual representation. Like an artist, he is communicating through his paintings, right?
Yes.
A photographer also communicates with his photos, right?
Exactly.
So that is the essence that people should know, that English is not communication skill.
Yeah.
Right? It is a language.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Because then I could say that I want to improve my Hindi communication, my communication in India, and then someone will say, "What's wrong?" So I can't speak Hindi very well. That's just a very, very small part of assisting communication, but it's not communication as a whole.
Yes. Okay. So what is the role of listening in communication?
Yes. Very important to begin with. Yes. So I think with listening, we have to listen in the sense that we don't want to listen just to reply. Basically, I think a lot of people make this mistake. They listen because they're in their mind, they're building the response in their head for what they want to say, instead of actually truly listening to what the person is saying.
To understand.
Exactly,
what the person wants to say.
Yes, and they're making assumptions in their mind. This person's saying this is what they mean, and this is what I want to reply back. So there's this assumption around what they want to say, but that's definitely one mistake with listening that I think people do tend to make.
So from today onwards, if someone wants to improve his or her listening skills, what should they do?
So I guess they have to figure out what it is about listening they want to improve. So is it because they want to improve their exposure to English? So if we go back to the topic of English communication, or is it that they want to be a more empathetic listener? Do they want to sort of figure out what is their main goal for listening? So what I tell my students who want to become better listeners of the Australian accent, it's exposure to that language or that accent. Because think of India, for example, most of the exposure to English is either Indian English, which is of course normal, we're in India, or Hollywood.
Hollywood, movies.
Exactly, Hollywood exposure, right?
Yes.
So it's the American accent. So then they go to Australia and they're like, what language are they speaking here? And it's English, but it's just a different type. Yeah. So having that exposure to the actual language itself, with empathetic listening, I think it's just checking in with yourself. So if you are listening to reply, stop it. So really just focus, and you can self-reflect after maybe a meeting or a conversation.
Exactly.
Sit down with yourself and think, how in tune was I with that conversation?
Yes.
Was there anything I could have done differently? Was I thinking about my reply? And have that self-reflection afterwards.
Great. So very well said that whenever we are listening to someone, just be patient. Just show the empathy that yes, you are understanding what they are saying.
Yes.
And then let me give you an example. I always give this example that who is your favorite person in the world? I ask people, who is your favorite person in the world? and I tell them that I know who is your favorite person in the world. They say, how? I tell them that the person is your most favorite who is listening to you properly.
Yeah.
It can be your spouse, it can be your brother, sister, parents, child, anyone,
Yeah.
right? The person who is listening to you nicely, they are listening to understand what you want to say,
Yeah.
where you can pour your heart out,
Yeah.
right? They are your most loving person,
Yeah.
and you love them the most.
Yeah.
So why don't you become that person for
Yeah.
everyone?
Yes.
Listen nicely, listen to understand what they want to say, they really
Yeah.
want to say, right?
Yeah.
Not to reply.
Yes.
Listen, not to reply.
Yeah.
Yes. So
for
next
sure.
question is, as you mentioned that Australian English, when people learn here that is American, all the web series are American, the Hollywood is American, but when they go to Australia, they face a lot of problems while
Yes.
understanding the accent. So what are the key features of the Australian accent that make it one of the most hardest language in the world?
Yes.
Right.
So there's a few things. We don't pronounce R. Ah is how we say it. Ah.
So is it same as British?
It is. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But I think, I don't know, back in the day, obviously people would have more exposure to British English here. But then, with Hollywood, like we said, even like if people love watching K-drama, it's American dubbed. Everything's like there's such an American,
Exactly.
influence. So, yes, it is the same as British English where we don't really say the R sound. I'm saying it now for emphasis.
Yes.
That is a really, really big one. We have kind of like a mix of American and British influences. So we don't say R like British English, but then like for me, if I was to say water bottle, I don't pronounce the T's there. I don't say water bottle, right? My T changes into a slight D sound. So it's like a water bottle.
Water border.
Exactly.
Water border.
Yes.
Okay.
So that tends to confuse people too.
Okay.
So it's not that we can say we're completely influenced by British English. It's a mix. So different sounds like the T's, lack of R as well. Also, we use a lot of slang. A lot of slang that people aren't familiar with. And even Australians don't realise what words are slang or what's specific to Australia.
Okay. They think that it is normal. It is not slang, huh?
Yeah.
We are speaking English.
Exactly. Yes, exactly right. So, yes,
like a famous slang of Australia.
Oh, Arvo would be the first one. Arvo, which is short for afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't say the R, right? So then, if it's Arvo, it might, in American accent, it might make a bit more sense to people.
Exactly.
But not really, because Americans say afternoon, so probably not. But then we have slang for avocado, the food, which is avo. So then people get confused with avo and arvo, which is just the vowel sound. Yeah, so arvo, we have a really famous greeting, which is how you going?
How you going?
Which just means how are you, but people mistake it for like, how did you get here? By what method of transport, or where are you going, sort of thing. Yeah, so there's a lot of confusion with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So if someone wants, people are listening to us, people are watching us, if someone wants to improve their pronunciation, how they can improve their pronunciation part? So
to begin with, I think getting professional feedback first would be helpful.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because that's what I do, but it's just that if you don't know your kind of problem areas or areas that you're struggling, then it's hard to know what to improve, because then you're just going to be repeating the same kind of mistakes in a way. Either that, or if you have someone close to you that can help you by telling you your areas, maybe there's a certain sound that you're mispronouncing. Otherwise, what people can do is there's a technique called shadowing. So that is where you listen to a piece of audio, listen to it, focus on the pronunciation, the sounds, the intonation, the way it's spoken, pause, repeat it back, record yourself, and then compare the two recordings. So go back, listen to that first, whoever you're copying, then listen to yourself.
So can we do one thing, that we can copy a person whom we admire, like
Yes.
Shah Rukh Khan or anyone,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely, yes.
So we can watch their interviews,
Yep.
and then we will see that how they speak. And
Yeah.
if we want to improve, at least we can do that.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. That's actually what I tell my students, especially if they're wanting to improve Australian pronunciation, is pick an Australian person that you really admire or you like their way of speaking and do that. So look at their interviews, watch them in shows or movies, you know, whatever it is. And yeah, just try and copy, repeat it, but don't just focus on the way they speak. Think of that paraverbal communication as well.
Exactly.
So pitch, the tonality, their intonation, their tone, all of that all plays a part.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
One tip for everyone so that they can improve their confidence while speaking English.
Talk to yourself more. Actually, yes.
The best one, right?
It is.
Because what we do in a whole day, we talk a lot to ourselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what we can do is we can speak in English to ourselves.
Yep.
And the more we will speak, when it comes to speak outside, we'll be able to speak, right?
Exactly right. Because it's a skill and it's just like driving a car. If you learn the basics but you don't put those skills into motion, you're not going to get better at driving a car. So it's the same with English.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you don't put those skills into use in your own time practicing, you're not going to be able to use that in the real world. So yeah, speaking to yourself. And people don't really like listening to themselves either. They don't like to hear their own voice. So they don't like to do this activity because they're like, cringe, oh my God, this is so awkward.
This is how I sound.
Yes, exactly. But, you know, there's the shadowing activity I was just talking about. I did this with a Hindi kid story a few months back.
Okay.
And I was feeling really awkward because, you know, it was a kid's story, right? And, you know, one of the characters was like, man, magar machu. And like, I felt like an idiot. And then I looked around and I'm like, I'm in my office by myself. Why am I embarrassed?
Exactly.
It's an ego thing, right?
Exactly.
So like drop that ego. Who cares?
Who cares?
But you have to get over that fear of listening to yourself.
Great advice. Listen to yourself, talk to yourself.
Yes.
As much as you can.
Yeah.
And then only you will be able to improve your confidence, right? Okay, next question. It is related to language and the opportunities. Like we are sitting in India or anywhere in the world. When it comes to English, if we learn English, what are the benefits of it? Will we get more opportunities afterward?
I think it really depends on your goals, essentially. So I think nowadays with not necessarily social media, but like with the internet, basically, like if you think back 30 years ago, there was no way that we would be doing this. We wouldn't have even connected somehow.
Exactly.
But like, you know, I have my podcast and I interview guests. It's an online podcast. So there are those opportunities for you to connect with people online. So if you are wanting different job opportunities or different speaking opportunities or just, you know, whatever that is, English is a global language and it is, I think, going to continue to be the global language for a very long time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think knowing English is really important in that sense.
Really important.
Yeah, absolutely. As much as, you know, I'm sure that there's other languages definitely booming, like with the current kind of situation here in India, I'm sure that Indian languages are also going to grow as, you know, India expands into like the foreign markets. Look at like Mandarin Chinese as well. That's another example of people learning that more because of opportunities in that market. So yeah, I think it also depends on your goals and what you want to achieve, but English is not going anywhere. So
learn English.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question is related to corporates. When it comes to corporate, and especially in India, not outside, but in India, people are at manager level, at senior manager level. But when it comes to presentation, they tell the juniors because they are Gen Zs and they have learned how to speak English.
Yeah.
So what are the things that they can do in their office to improve their English speaking, to make themselves better or to make themselves presentable? So what they can do for the corporates especially? Is it important in corporates?
I'll be completely honest with this. I don't really know, only because I've never had a corporate job here in India before.
Okay.
And yeah, that's a really tricky one for me to answer. I do want to work more with corporates here in India, but specifically Australian companies. So that is sort of my thing, Australia related, right?
Okay.
So you might be able to tell me this one actually. What's your thoughts on this question?
Yes, I'll tell you that in India especially, people are there because I have so many students who are struggling with English.
Yeah.
So they want to learn English because they are not able to present themselves in front of the team.
Yes.
So when it comes to giving presentation, they are not able to deliver the presentations. Why? Because they stuck while speaking English.
Yeah.
So I tell them that yes, it is important, because if you want to go to the CTO, C-suite level, CTO, CXO, CHRO, any level, you need to learn English, because in Hindi you won't be able to survive at that position, right?
Yeah.
If you are getting 5 lakh a month and you are not able to communicate properly to the other team members or to other companies, so why would any company pay you, right? So that is the most basic thing one can do, that start from today itself. Right?
Yeah. And I think if it goes back to your question about how they can, these like senior leaders and things like that improve their skills, I think it comes down to putting in that practice and that effort, not necessarily in the workplace, because, obviously they're feeling like maybe they're a bit embarrassed about it.
But if someone finds their mistake, that what will happen?
Exactly.
The fear of judgment.
Exactly. Yeah. And it goes back to what we were saying before about speaking to yourself and practicing and, practice. Do that in your own time. Practice. Find a person you're comfortable with and practice with them and ask them for feedback. Yeah. So if you have someone in your office or your workplace that you're very close with, or maybe you admire their English skills, ask them for feedback. Ask them to help you.
Yes, that will help you a lot.
Yeah.
So next question is, if someone wants to spend 30 minutes to 1 hour daily to improve their English, so what can they do in that half an hour or 1 hour? Any structured format that, yes, you have to read, you have to write, you have to this and that, what they can do the most? What they can do, because people are working professionals, okay, they are not getting time. Yes, you are saying that people should talk to themselves more, but how will they learn new things?
Yeah.
Because learning new things is important, because they will speak to themselves to the level that they know, right? But learning, consuming new things is as much as important as speaking. So what is the structured way in which they can improve their English by giving 30 minutes to 1 hour every day?
Have a plan first.
Okay.
So don't think, okay, I'm going to sit down at, 7 p.m. for 30 minutes and work on my English, and then sit there and then start planning what you're going to do. So plan in advance, create your own plan around your goals. So if your goal is to improve your speaking, then you'll do those 30-minute blocks in different ways to improve your speaking. So it might be recording yourself and reviewing it back.
Okay.
So record yourself speaking freely for about 5 or 10 minutes, then review it back.
Okay.
If your goal is to improve your reading, then use that time to read and then reflect. So a lot of these things have very similar kind of, what can I say? They're all very similar in how you would execute them. So you do the thing and then you review it. So whether it is practicing speaking and then review yourself, write down things that you are doing well, that you would like to continue to work on, and reflect. It's the same with reading. So if you read a book, for example, or you're reading something new, sit with it, think about what you've learned, how you can implement it, and then those things you've learned, put that into your speaking practice. Speak about it. So it all comes down to your goals, essentially. So if people come to me and say, I want to improve my English, what specifically about English? I mean, now I just focus on pronunciation, but before it was, XYZ things. So you can't sit there and think, I'm going to improve speaking, writing, and pronunciation in 30 minutes. You have to have a structure.
Yes.
So what that structure looks like is different for everyone.
Okay, depending on the needs.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yep. So it's a bit tricky for me to answer about the structure and the things like that, because everyone is different. And everyone are different learners too. Okay. Everyone are different learners. So is my English right there?
That's fine. So what we can do is we can structure according to our need. If I'm not good with reading, then I will start reading first. That
Exactly.
how to read. If I'm
Yes.
not good with writing part, then I will start writing.
Yeah.
That how to write.
Exactly.
So there a question arises that how does the social media that is affecting or that is helping in learning English, like Instagram, YouTube? Do you think that short form of content is helping people learning English?
Yes and no, but it depends on how you consume it. So if you're watching all of these different English channels and following these different pages, at some point it's going to get really confusing because people are going to have conflicting information that they share. Don't say this, and then this person's like, that person's wrong, speak like this. And it can be very overwhelming and confusing for people. But if you are following English pages, for example, on topics you enjoy, things that you like, absolutely it can help. But focus on things that you enjoy, because you're not going to put in the effort to learn if you're telling yourself to watch something that you're not interested in. Like for me with Hindi, I love watching, YouTube vloggers. So I'll watch YouTube vlogging in Hindi. But if you're someone that doesn't like watching travel vlogs, for example, you can't just sit there in English and watch it because you will not find it interesting.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So yes, I think short form social media content can absolutely help. Again, for me with Hindi, if there's like the caption written in script, I won't click the translate button. I'll sit there and I'll really try and figure out what they're saying. And I find that really helpful because I will mentally translate and then I'll speak it out loud. So I'm trying to do two things at once. And that's just from an Instagram caption or even comments if people are commenting in Hindi.
So what you can do is you can just consume the data which you like the most,
Exactly.
right? And then only you will be able to make the process interesting, and then you will be easily learning the language which you want to learn.
Yeah,
right?
And set a timer, because then you'll get down like a rabbit hole of doom scrolling if you're just constantly scrolling, right?
Great. So give me an idea that how a person who rigorously want to learn English, he is so passionate about learning English, what are the things which he needs to do in next 30 days? Like he has 30 days to improve his English speaking.
Yeah.
What he can do?
Everything has to switch to English. So English shows, English movies, English thoughts. So it's going to be hard to think all day in English if you're used to thinking in your mother tongue or something else. But what you can do is set a 5 minutes a day to begin with, where you just think in English and speak to yourself. So talking out loud, but definitely if you want to be more confident in that language, you have to shift everything into that language. So have that exposure, have that environment around you where everything is in English.
So change your environment.
Yeah.
Switch it to English totally. Whatever you are consuming, consume it in English. Whatever you are speaking, speak in English. Whatever you are watching, watch in English.
Reading as well.
Reading.
Yeah.
Do everything in English, and yes, within 30 days you will improve your English.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah. Because it all comes down to immersion. There is a reason why I've been stuck at the same Hindi level for the last few years, because I actually don't really immerse myself. It's like fully on me. I'm fully aware of that. It's because I teach in English, I work in English, I speak English to my husband, despite Hindi being his mother tongue. But we started our relationship in English. So it's really hard to switch into Hindi.
To Hindi.
It is. And I don't consume enough Hindi.
Exactly.
So I'm fully aware of that, but that's why I tell people, if you want to improve, you have to immerse. Don't be like me.
No, that is your work. No? That is why you are doing
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fine. One golden rule to improve communication skills.
Yeah.
Overall communication, one golden rule.
One golden rule for communication. I think it is to work on your paraverbal communication. So the words that you speak, yes, that's part of verbal communication. But if you can't get those across the right way, if you're not using enough tonality, if you're not using the right intonation or tone, if you don't have a decent pitch to get your words out and get your words across, they're not going to land to the listener. So the golden rule here, I guess it's a bit of a broad answer, but focus on that part of your voice.
Yes. Voice tonality. You have to work on your voice tonality, because words are dead words until it is spoken with feel. right? You have to
Exactly.
put in the feel in your words
Yeah.
so that they will awaken.
Exactly. There's
Right.
that quote. Gosh, I can't remember who said it now. Someone, I'm sure, will say it in the comments unless you know. But
Okay.
people won't always remember what you said, but they'll remember
How you make
made
them feel. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's what it comes down to. So, like, and this is an activity I do with my students when we learn about tonalities. I have like the one sentence, and you can say it 4 or 5 different ways with different emotion, and they can mean different things.
Exactly. They and the same things we do here. That there is a
Yeah.
single line, but you have to speak it in different ways,
Yeah.
and that's how you improve how to
Yeah.
communicate properly, because
Yeah.
it is all about how you make them feel. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And even like I've had students that say, "Oh, I feel so embarrassed. This is so weird," because I'm like getting them to put these emotions on that they're not used to. And I'm like, if you are not feeling embarrassed, you're not doing it right. You have to feel embarrassed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like it goes back to the ego thing, doesn't it? Put the ego
Put
down.
the ego down.
And practice, but you're not going to become comfortable with those feelings if you don't try and use them. You're feeling uncomfortable because you don't use them.
Use them. Exactly.
Yeah.
The same thing what we do, that we have to share our happiest day of our life with happy emotions.
Yeah.
At first they do this, then I give them the level 2 in which they have to mention their happiest day in sad tone. that is too hard for students.
Exactly.
They keep on crying, they try to do it, and yes, they feel embarrassed, and I say that if you are feeling embarrassed, then yes, you are doing it right,
Exactly.
because you are putting in efforts
Yeah.
to bring in those emotions in your words.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So yes, we have the same modules, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so there will be a rapid round in
Okay.
which I will ask rapid fire questions
Sure.
from you, and it is a kind of fun segment. Let's
Okay.
see what Amanda has to say.
Chalo.
Okay, chalo. Yes. British English or Australian English?
Obviously Australian English. Very biased here.
Okay.
Yeah.
One English word everyone pronounces wrong.
I think it's actually pronunciation. Is people say pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
They use pronoun.
Exactly.
So yes, I've been accused of saying this online, but I'm like, I've watched the videos back and I'm like, I definitely see my mouth moving for pronunciation.
Pronunciation. It is not pronunciation.
Yeah.
Yes. Book, podcast or YouTube for English learners?
Again, it goes back to how they learn, because some people are visual learners, some people are
Wow.
audible learners, some people, it all comes down to that. So pick whatever works well for you. Whatever learner you are, pick that.
Great. One English mistake you hear very often. People generally make this mistake.
I think, I don't really like saying it's a mistake, but grammatically it is. Not using articles correctly. The, an. Yeah.
That is the thing. Tea or coffee?
Definitely coffee. I know it's not very life in India like of me, but I'm definitely a coffee gal.
Coffee girl. One Aussie slang word everyone should know.
Definitely how you going.
How you going?
Yes.
Great. One advice for someone who is afraid of speaking English.
I think having a fear is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to move past that, if you want to grow, if you want to develop, you have to practice. But practice in low stress environments first. So it could be like I've been just saying, talking to yourself, but then obviously you have to move into the next step of...
Yes, where you can speak to 2 to 4 people.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. So for people in Australia, what I normally say to them is... they don't really have it here, but I noticed in Decathlon yesterday they do.
Mm-hmm.
But in Australia, they have self-serve checkouts.
Okay.
So if you go to the supermarket, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually go and scan your own groceries and put them in the bag and then pay.
Wow.
There's not a person there.
Okay.
So I tell them, don't go to self-serve checkout. Go and speak to a person because it's low kind of effort. That person serving you, it's their job to keep the conversation going. And you just have to practice replying.
Exactly.
Yeah, so practice in those low kind of effort environments. Practice with neutral ears, someone who doesn't know the way you speak, and that's who you will practice things with.
Exactly.
Like we were talking about with tonality, right? If you want to practice tonality with a real person, go and order coffee or go to a chaiwala, whatever it is here in India, and practice with them. They're not going to know if that's your normal voice or not. And then you can gauge their reaction. If they're like a bit like this, you're like, okay, maybe that was a bit too much, right?
Yes.
But if they don't even react, okay, that's good. You know, you can keep practicing.
Keep practicing.
So do it in stages.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about calling on a call center?
I actually had a student who was doing this. So he's from Tamil Nadu, and he was learning English through Cambly. That's the only English exposure he had.
Okay.
He didn't even want to speak English in his office. He just was so nervous. And his next step was he was just going to call someone up, like a call center, and practice with them, because then he knew if he panicked, he could just hang up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like very good for the employee, but look, yeah, it definitely.
You have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, I feel like I should do that one day with like press 2 for Hindi. But it has happened before where I've pressed 1 for English, and then the person hasn't
Spoken Hindi.
Yeah, and they were talking so fast, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, मेरी हिंदी अच्छी नहीं, like, मुझे समझ नहीं सकता. And then they've just like hung up on me. So I've had to call back, press 1 for English. I've actually heard them say to me like, मैं समझ नहीं पाई. What is it? मैं समझ नहीं सकती. And then they hung up. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Okay, now I will choose the first one.
Yes.
Good. It was really nice talking to you, and
Thank
you
you
have
so much,
shared a lot of valuable insights with our students, with our audience, with the world, because our podcast is going to be worldwide. The best thing is that the way you made English learning process very, very easy, that people should just start listening or consuming the thing which they have interest in.
Yeah.
The second thing is, as you shared, that communication is not about English. So that was the best thing which one can learn, especially in India. If they are in dilemma that am I good with my communication or am I good with my English? Because I have seen people who are good with English and they are not able to communicate properly.
Yes.
Right? So communication is totally different thing, as you have seen that. So she's Amanda, and her platform is Aussie English with Amanda. I will drop the link in the description box. You can follow her from there. You can follow her YouTube channel, follow her Instagram channel, connect with her. If you want to improve your English speaking, then connect with her and learn how to communicate properly in English, especially in Aussie English.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Oh.